Everything changed one quiet evening behind the high gates of Buckingham Palace, not through some grand scandal or dramatic event, but through a simple envelope, a letter written by Queen Elizabeth II herself before her passing. It was addressed not to King Charles or Prince William, but to Princess Anne, and its contents, nothing short of transformative. The Queen, in her own words, named Catherine the Princess of Wales as the future of the monarchy, not merely a consort, but a leader. It was a gesture rooted not in tradition, but in foresight. Princess Anne, known for her steadfastness and control, did not take this lightly. She waited for the right moment and then convened a private meeting with King Charles and Prince William. No aides, no royal secretaries, just the three of them and the Queen's final wish. Charles read the letter first. His reaction was one of disbelief. William, equally stunned, said little. The message was clear. The monarchy's strength lay in the hands of Catherine. At that very moment, Catherine was unaware. She was at home with her children, performing her duties with characteristic grace. She had no knowledge that in a room above, her role within the royal institution was being redefined. The Queen had seen what many had observed over time. Catherine had emerged as the steady, dignified figure the monarchy needed in a rapidly changing world. Anne carried the letter to a larger meeting of senior royal advisors the following day. This time, there was no hesitation. She presented the Queen's words clearly and firmly. While the letter did not alter the line of succession, it carried the authority of a sovereign's final instruction. The message was simple. The future of the crown did not depend solely on bloodline, it depended on character, commitment, and public trust. And in the eyes of the late Queen, no one embodied these values more than Catherine. Unsurprisingly, this revelation caused discomfort among certain members of the institution. King Charles, whose life had been shaped by royal duty and preparation, was taken aback. William, who had always assumed the role of their apparent, was silent, grappling not with jealousy, but with the profound implications of his wife being positioned as the monarchy's greatest hope. Catherine's path to the palace was not that of a traditional royal. Born Catherine Middleton in Reading, she was raised in a middle-class family with no ties to nobility. Her upbringing was grounded in values of discipline, humility, and public service. She did not grow up surrounded by ceremony, but rather by a strong work ethic and a sense of responsibility. Her education, professional pursuits, and even her early courtship with Prince William were handled with remarkable poise and discretion. She met Prince William in 2001 when they were both students at the University of St Andrews in Scotland. They were studying art history and initially became friends through shared classes and university events. Their friendship deepened when they moved into the same student house with a few other friends in their second year. Kate reportedly caught William's attention during a charity fashion show where she walked the runway in a sheer dress. Over time, their bond grew, and they began dating privately, managing to keep their relationship mostly out of the public eye during university. Their romance became known to the media in 2004 when they were photographed skiing together. Despite a brief breakup in 2007, they reconciled and continued their relationship more steadily. Their enduring connection, built on years of friendship and shared experiences, ultimately led to their engagement in 2010 and marriage in 2011. Catherine's public life began long before her marriage. Even as William's partner, she avoided unnecessary media attention, choosing instead to focus on causes that mattered deeply to her. She organized fundraisers for UNICEF, supported children's charities, and worked on mental health initiatives, all without fanfare. After marrying into the royal family, she intensified her efforts. She opted to forego wedding gifts in favor of a charitable fund. She donated her hair to cancer charities in private. She visited hospitals, advocated for addiction recovery, and launched early childhood development campaigns. Unlike some royal figures who approached charity as an obligation, Catherine embraced it as a purpose. Her presence at events was not symbolic, it was active. She listened, learned, and she connected. Her manner was not theatrical, it was genuine. And that is precisely why the Queen saw in her the potential to carry the monarchy forward. As word of the Queen's letter began to spread within royal circles, reactions varied. Some resisted, clinging to the rigid hierarchies of the past. Others, particularly the younger generation of royals and advisors, felt a sense of relief. For them, this was not merely about a title, it was about survival. The British monarchy, like any long-standing institution, must adapt or risk obsolescence. There is no denying that Catherine has already played a critical role in reshaping the image of the royal family. Her engagements are meaningful, her conduct is above reproach. She has successfully balanced tradition with modernity, family life with public service, and in doing so, she has gained not only respect, but affection, both at home and abroad. Still, some have questioned whether Catherine would accept such a weighty role. When she was eventually informed of the Queen's letter, her response was characteristically composed. She did not immediately accept or reject the role being proposed. Instead, she requested time to consider the implications, not only for herself, but for her children and the future of the institution. William, meanwhile, found himself in a delicate position. He's always admired and supported his wife, but the notion that the crown's future could rest more heavily on her shoulders than his was a challenging revelation. It was not rivalry, but introspection that consumed him, and yet his support never wavered. His pride in Catherine was evident, even as he processed the magnitude of what the Queen's endorsement meant. Outside the palace, the public remained unaware of the dramatic discussions taking place. Royal press releases continued with routine messages. Appearances were scheduled as usual, but within the walls of the monarchy, a quiet but irreversible shift had occurred. One of the more traditional advisors suggested Catherine may not be ready, that she lacked the political knowledge or institutional history for such influence. But those voices were quickly silenced by her track record. Catherine had already proved that leadership is not about being the loudest in the room, it's about consistency, integrity, and connection. The truth is that the monarchy no longer survives on symbolism alone. In the 21st century, it requires relevance. It must demonstrate value not through pageantry, but through purpose. Catherine represents that evolution. Her life story resonates, her actions speak louder than her titles, and in many ways, she reflects the very values the monarchy wishes to uphold: family, service, resilience, and humility. As for the Queen's letter, it has not been released to the public, nor has the royal family made any formal announcements. But within the palace, the message has been heard. It has changed the tone of internal discussions. It has prompted reconsideration of long-held assumptions, and it has elevated Catherine from Duchess to potential sovereign force. Time will tell how this unfolds. The Queen's wishes may not translate into policy, the line of succession remains unchanged, but the narrative has shifted. Catherine is no longer simply supporting the throne. She is being seen, as she always has been by those who matter, as capable of holding it. It's not about replacing one royal with another, it's about redefining what it means to lead. The Queen saw that, Princess Anne voiced it, and now quietly, the rest of the monarchy must reckon with it. One thing is certain: while the world continues to watch the royal family through headlines and appearances, the real transformation is already underway. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, may not have been born into royalty, but she may be its best hope for the future. And as history has shown, sometimes the greatest queens are not born, they are made. Because change, it doesn't always come crashing in. Sometimes it tiptoes in a handwritten letter, a quiet voice, and a woman who didn't need a crown to be queen. And while the world pretends nothing has changed, those inside Buckingham Palace know the truth. Catherine isn't just the heart of the royal family, she might just be its future. So stay tuned, because this isn't over, not even close.